When I discovered the lock on my own backyard gate had been changed overnight, I stood frozen, a stranger on the $400,000 property I'd called home for 6 months. The HOA's silent power grab wasn't just a violation, it was a declaration of war. Little did they know, they'd just sprung a trap I'd been quietly setting since the day I moved into Willow Creek. 6 months ago, I chose Willow Creek for its promise of peace after a grueling divorce. As a former FBI cybersecurity specialist turned systems security engineer, I craved order and solitude. The house, with its private gate to a community park, offered both a sanctuary to rebuild my life. For months, I followed the HOA's rules meticulously, savoring quiet evenings walking through that gate. But one Tuesday morning, a new lock barred my way, trapping me on my own land. The HOA office directed me to Karen Reynolds, the president, whose cold dismissal and suspicious, anonymous complaints hinted at something deeper than a simple security measure. Karen's office was a shrine to control, every paperclip in place, her HOA achievements framed like war trophies. She claimed the lock change was for security concerns, backed by complaints that, to my trained eye, were clearly written by one person. My purchase agreement confirmed the gate was on my private property, not the HOA's domain. When I confronted Karen and her vice president, Tom Ellis, with this evidence, their thinly veiled threats of fines and violations revealed their true motive: power. A chance encounter with Megan Harper, a neighbor, confirmed Karen's history of bullying residents into submission, from destroying gardens to driving families out. Fueled by a familiar sense of justice, I turned my dining room into a war room, mapping out the HOA's corruption. Public records, bylaws, and financial statements revealed a pattern: vague expenses, unvoted contracts tied to Tom's cousin, and distressed properties funneled to Karen's ex-husband's real estate firm. George Miller, a retired teacher, shared how Karen's obsession with control began after a $200,000 real estate loss, turning her into a tyrant who crushed dissenters like the Martinez family. When Karen caught me talking to George, she issued absurd violations, $450 for grass height and curtain color, proving her retaliation tactics. I activated Protocol Honey Trap, a strategy from my FBI days, using military-grade cameras disguised as yard decorations to record Karen and Tom's midnight tampering with my gate. Their vandalism, captured clearly, was the felony evidence I needed. With Megan's help, I rallied 7 households, each with their own stories of HOA harassment. We buried the board in meticulous compliance, pages of applications for doorknobs and light bulbs, exposing their administrative incompetence. When their attorney threatened legal action, my former FBI colleague countered, demanding full financial records. Karen escalated, damaging my gate's electronics and bragging about unvoted fee increases. A recording device I placed captured her admitting to manipulating property values and diverting $17,000 for a ski retreat. At a barbecue I hosted, I shared my evidence with neighbors, uniting them against Karen's regime. A Wi-Fi honeypot confirmed their illegal surveillance, including a tracker on my car. The stage was set for the final confrontation. At a packed HOA meeting, I presented my evidence: vandalism footage, financial mismanagement, and proof of Karen's real estate scheme with her ex-husband. The room erupted as residents, led by Lisa Bennett, rejected Karen's threats. Citing bylaws, I called for a vote to remove the board. With near unanimous support, Karen and Tom were ousted, and George and Megan stepped in as interim leaders. The police investigated Karen for embezzlement and vandalism, and within weeks, I hung a new gate with my own lock. As Megan and I toasted with champagne, she asked why I fought so hard for a gate I rarely used. I smiled, watching children play freely in the park. The gate was never the point, it was bait, a trigger to expose a tyrant who thrived on control. By giving Karen enough rope, I dismantled her empire, freeing Willow Creek from fear. The open gate now stands as a symbol of a community reborn, where neighbors laugh, children play, and no one locks out freedom.